All right. So, welcome back to the book alert. For this one, we're going to be chatting about Black Candle Women. So, Black Candle Women by Diane Marie Brown. This is a debut novel by Diane Marie Brown. And I chose it because I have an event coming up with Ms. Brown. The event is going to be March the 7th. And it's going to be a virtual event. That means anyone, anywhere can tune in and chat. And if you would like a signed copy of the book, check the website, RVA Book Bar, signed copies of the book. Now, the book does not drop until February the 28th. However, we will be getting signed copies. So you can definitely check the web for that. And go ahead and purchase the link. I know it'll say, you know, joining the video. You can definitely check the website for that. It'll say joining the Zoom, because it's going to be a Zoom virtual event. You don't have to join the Zoom if you don't want to, though you should chat with Ms. Brown about this book. So let's get into the book. So, Black Candle Women. It's an interesting book because I'm honestly not quite sure what genre it is. I think it's like a mixture of a few genres. There's a little magic because we have voodoo. Who doesn't love a little voodoo? We have voodoo. We have contemporary fiction too. So it's all kinds of things. But what you have are the generations. I think it's 3 generations of Montrose women living under the same roof. They are living in California, but I believe the Montrose line is out of New Orleans. And so everything seems normal. You have Nikki, who just turned 17 years old, and she's celebrating her 17th birthday. Her mom, Victoria, and her aunt, Willow. And then her grandmother, Augusta, also lives in the home. But Nikki decides for her 17th birthday that, because they celebrate it at home, it's just them, never really anyone else involved. Nikki decides she's going to bring a friend home from school. It's a guy, but she's going to bring him home from school. Her mother freaks out. Not like internally freaks out, I should say. I think externally, all Nikki knew was that mom was a little upset about some things. So anyway, mom freaks out, goes upstairs. Willow's trying to save face and say, oh, let's just celebrate your birthday, whatever. Nikki's confused, not sure what's going on. Come to find out, the family has this huge secret that no one decided to share with Nikki. The secret being that a voodoo sorceress back in, I want to say like the 50s out of New Orleans, put a curse on the family. And so this curse is whenever you fall in love with a guy, the guy is doomed to die. First of all, I feel like you should have said something to Nikki, like she should know this. I feel like that is a right that she has. She should know that she's like doomed or destined to be alone for the rest of her life. No one said anything to her. But also, no one tried to figure out how to end this curse. Y'all just generation after generation after generation gonna serve these gods and not actually come to figure out how to get rid of this curse. Everybody's just, and mind you, clearly they're not really abiding because they're having babies. Like the grandmother had a kid, grandmother had 2 kids, and then one of them had another kid. Like, I'm trying to understand, y'all out here just getting with these men knowing they're gonna die? I don't know how I feel about that. But what I enjoyed, first of all, Willow's the homie. So Willow is the aunt. Willow is the homie. Willow is like, listen, tell this girl the truth. You over here trying to lie. Willow's like that fun auntie. And Willow was up front. Willow is definitely born in a different time. She should have been born more recently because Willow is very much given, I don't give a F. I don't want these kind of problems. So I'm going to just go ahead and be single. I'm going to go out here and have fun. She is all about bodily autonomy, sexual freedom. And she was like, I'm going to have fun, but I don't want no relationships. I don't want them kind of problems. Because what for? They're going to die anyway. But then you have Willow, who also is like, I don't actually believe in this curse. And she's like, I don't believe in this curse because people die. Like, that's what happened. And it's, from what I understand, they're not like freak accidents. It's like, okay, you got into a car crash or you, whatever. Like, they're not freak accidents. So Willow's the cool auntie, and Nikki's like, you know, auntie, hey, what's up? What is going on? What's going on with your sister? Why is she acting all weird? And to be fair, Victoria was a little on the eccentric side. She was a therapist I don't even know if I should call her eccentric. She was a therapist, which is really weird because I'm a therapist too. But she was a therapist. But you know what was odd about it? She was very closed-minded. She just did not have, she didn't believe in anything outside of like what the school taught her. And as we know, and like, yes, I know it's a fictional novel, but it's based, there's some things that are based in truth. Like the fact that we know that the school gives you a very westernized viewpoint of how to approach certain careers, certain professions. Same, that holds true for therapy. It's a very westernized viewpoint of things. And so for Victoria to hold so true to these beliefs, where you have Willow, who's also like mixing up potions on the side, helping Victoria's clients without Victoria ever knowing. When I say I stand Willow, Willow is me. Willow's like, I mean, you can go in there and chat because we definitely believe in therapy around these parts, but therapy is not end all be all. There are other tools that can be used to address whatever needs to be addressed. And so Willow was like, I'm gonna go ahead. You want to do what? You want this man to do what? Nothing harmful, but she was like, you want this man to do what? Okay, we got you. Take this, put this under his pillow and sprinkle this on your carpet. I could have made that up. I don't know. It could have been in the book. I don't know. But that's essentially what she was doing. She was brewing things up. She was doing herbs and potions and brews and spells. And she was like, we about to use the powers given to us. I love the fact that the voodoo in here, obviously, well, not obviously, because I don't know. Everyone may not know. But voodoo, hoodoo, all of that stems from different African belief systems and spiritualities and all of that. And so you have the African gods, goddesses that are showing up in all this, which I absolutely love. Absolutely love. But for Victoria to be a therapist and be so close-minded, side note, I wholeheartedly always tell people they need to go to therapy. I feel like everybody needs therapy at least once in their life. If you think you don't, you're a liar or you're in denial. One of the two. We all are going through something. We all could use, that sounding board to say, hey, help me out. So go to therapy. With that being said, I am also a firm believer that, again, therapy is at the end all be all. And so if you find yourself speaking to someone who is closed-minded, that is your cue to find someone new. I do not care what the profession is. There is no one size fits all. There is no, shoe that can fit on everyone's foot. So at the end of the day, going to see a professional who is that closed-minded and just of the mindset, nope, that would never work. That is the wrong approach to take with anybody, because we are not all the same. The human race is not a monolith. No one culture is a monolith. No one race, ethnicity, religion is a monolith. And therefore, there is no one size fits all method. So Victoria's approach to things was really weird. And what was even worse, for her to be a therapist, and again, therapists are humans. There is no therapist who is perfect, myself included. Therapists are humans. But for her to be a therapist and be so close-minded and unwilling to talk and have healthy communication with her daughter, that's, red flag. Obviously, her clients don't know this, but, as the reader looking in, as the therapist looking in, that's red flag number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, okay? You helping this person with communication and you got poor communication skills with your own household? Calls coming from where? Inside the house. Go fix that. But Nikki eventually learns all of this, but she learns that she finds the spell book or the book of spells, whatever. She learns what it is. She starts trying to brew potions. Victoria and Willow get into a whole argument because they all live in the house, and Victoria, I guess, was feeling herself thinking she was badass and was coming for Willow, and Willow was like, F this, I don't have to be here. And Victoria was like, then go. And so Victoria kicks Willow out the house. For a little bit, Nikki feels a little abandoned about Willow, but Willow's able to call and be like, hey, I didn't abandon you. But all of these things start happening. The whole family begins to fall apart. The grandmom recognizes that all of this started with her just not being honest. And saying that the sorcerer put a curse on the family and where all of this was coming from. And that the curse was placed on the family because of what the grandmother did. Trying not to get too much into what the grandmother did, but the curse was placed on the family because of what the grandmother did. And Nikki, Nikki's a child. Nikki ends up running away. but the grandmother had like given her a note to read, and she finds the note while she's trying to run away. She's not really trying to run away. She's trying to go back to New Orleans and essentially get to the root of all of this. They end up finding her, and the curse ends up being lifted. And it's a great, like, it's a great story that helps you to see, like, you know what, first of all, these secrets that these families be having, secrets kill people. Like, almost literally in this book. But for real, secrets kill people. Secrets are harmful. Secrets destroy relationships. And so had they been honest from the very beginning, so many things would have been different. The curse does end up becoming lifted, but it's so many things, like even down to like Victoria becoming a bit more open-minded and helping her to understand, like, listen, I get that you went to school for this because she has this special power of being able to help people, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you over here acting like you just this most special being and I ain't shit, which is essentially what Willow was feeling like. You acting like it's all you and not me. And Willow was like, no, I'm special in my own way. And I need you to acknowledge that. Like, don't do me. Not too much. And eventually all of that comes around and they begin to see that. And I think that was super important. I really, really enjoyed the book. I'm trying not to say too much because, like I said, the book doesn't drop until February 28th, and I have no idea when this episode will drop. But I know it'll be likely before a lot of you get it and read it. So I'm trying not to drop too much, even though I did spoil it.
Sorry, not sorry.
Get it. I'm telling you. I was talking all in circles trying to avoid certain big drops, but it's so worth it. And if you're anything like me, I don't know if you've been to New Orleans, live in New Orleans, whatever. I absolutely love New Orleans. I love the history behind New Orleans. I love the history behind New Orleans. So you give me a story that takes place or is set in New Orleans and starts talking about the voodoo and the hoodoo and all the things. I'm 10 toes down. I'm in this. And I loved it. And I think it's a great debut novel. And like I said, March the 7th, virtual chat with the author. Check my website for the link to order yourself a signed copy. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.